Alright, YouTube. I had a request to show some of my paper money, especially my fancy serial numbers. And I just wanted to fulfill that request and kind of show off some of my collection. Now, these 4 $5 bills are all graded by PMG, and all of them are radar notes. And simply what that means is if you look at the serial number, it's a palindrome. It reads the same forward as it is backward. And if you look at the grades, we have a 63, a 64, a 65, and a 67. Something cool to see, if you look at the 63, notice the margins. The margin on the right side is smaller than the margin on the left. While it is uncirculated, that's what knocks it down to a 63. If you look down here at the 67, it literally looks like it's perfect. All the margins measure the same. I apologize for the focusing issues, but you can clearly see why it's a 67, and the serial number really adds to the cool factor of it all. It's a perfect note. You get some others here very quick. Other unique notes. This is a binary note, just zeros and nines, and it is a star note as well. Here's a 7 of a kind in a 66 EPQ. It's one of the first fancy notes I got years and years ago. It's a bookend note. It has 177 or 117 on both ends of the serial number. It's not a great grade or anything, but it is a funny back. I've always been a sucker for funny back notes. It's just pretty cool. It's a low numbered 1928 $100 bill that is a star note. It has the numerical seal on it there. Here's a binary radar, 5s and 0s. Binary, bi means 2, so just 2 numbers are being used. More of the same. This is a PCGS graded note. PCGS is not grading paper currency or paper money any longer. It's a cool one. In my years of collecting, finding radars on higher denominations, obviously they're more valuable, but it's a lot harder to do. It's a very, very high graded note. 6s and 0s. One of my favorite notes that I own is this right here. It's a 57 silver cert. It is graded 67 EPQ, and it is a super radar. You look at the 3s and the 6s. There's a higher denomination radar. Here's something very hard to find. This is a star note radar, graded at 66. Now these things are really, really hard to value, but I've seen star note radars go for $150 pretty easily. Obviously it depends on the denomination. But notes like this, I've only owned 3 of them in my lifetime. They're very, very hard to find. This is not so much a radar, but it is a courtesy autograph. And it is of Joseph Barr. This is a Barr note from 1963. His signature is rare to find on a note anyway, because he was the Secretary of the Treasury for a very short amount of time. I want to say 2 weeks or 2 months, something like that. And the 63B is the only note that has his signature on it. And this one happens to have his actual hand signature as well. And it is graded a 65 PPQ. Here's a couple of oddities. These are Continental notes, and they are Radar Continental notes. This one, if you look, it's all handwritten. 499994. This one is graded a 40. These are very, very hard to grade, and if you're not familiar with Continental currency, this one is dated February 17th, 1776 for 2/3 of a dollar. Really cool note. The other Radar Continental I have, it's graded a 45. It's from May 10th, 1775. These are really beautiful notes. Let me show you the back of this. This one is a higher denomination. It's a piece of obsolete currency. That is a Radar 3443. And the two harder ones to find, here's a piece, or a San Francisco, and it's a National Bank note, and it is a Radar as well, 90409. Get this to focus. There we go. It's a very common bank. It's not a very valuable note, but the Radar serial number does tack on a little value to it. And one of my favorite notes in my collection is this 1917 legal tender with the Radar serial number graded to 64. I bought this years ago from Tom Denley, and I was just a little guy, and I had to pay on it and pay on it and pay on it. It's a pretty valuable note in that grade anyway. Then you tack on the serial number aspect, and it really makes the note very valuable. So I have had offers of it on it for over $700 and have not taken it. Sometimes I do kick myself about it, but it's pretty meaningful to me. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.